swept away. I'm cornered in the cold where you left me. Left again. Oh, there's a jungle in my head growing wilder, and it's killing me. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go. I cannot let you go.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are back after a week off, but we have updates. So, hey, it was not a week off. It was a week off from being live.
Right. And we were live.
We were live, but in a different way. There was no live
other
Jill and
places.
Katie show, which is sad. It's just sad.
Should we start off by apologizing, guys?
We don't even
I'm
know what
sorry.
you did with your Wednesday, but we're really, really very sorry about it.
We're sorry that we couldn't be there. That we let you down.
We let you down. We got to address this comment right off the bat. This song, which has become like my new favorite song, let me see if I can find the name of it. It says it's called Tropical. I have to send it a little bit later. It is definitely on Epidemic Sound, which Paul is 100% right. Check out Epidemic Sound so that it's licensed and we can use it in all these streams. But it's called Tropical something. It's not letting me see the whole name of it.
Tropical.
I'm probably gonna accidentally play it as I try to click through. Oh, thanks, Val. I love it. Well, huge shout out to everyone. We have Luis and Parker and Sammy. Paul is in the house. We have MC Bucklestack and Jared is here. Jill, yeah, you're here like in both ways. Live on camera and in the chat. We have Val in the house. And yeah, everyone is here. Thanks so much for hanging out. Put a like on this video.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'll give it a thumbs up. There we go.
Sammy's gonna just be rocking out to this song. I know. Often as I'm setting up for these streams, I just have the music on in the background as I'm like turning on the lights. Yeah. We should do a behind the scenes setup, as it takes me all day for pre-built scenes that on Effulgence have already built me. It still takes me all day. Hey Glenda, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're having fun today because we are just sharing our insights and takeaways from social media marketing world. So if you weren't able to get there, don't worry. We have lots of notes. Lots and lots of notes and some fun photos. Jill sent along she's got a notebook. Jill sent along some fun photos we can show you, make you feel some like deep FOMO. Like, Paul, how did you find this Tropical Storm? It's a great name too.
It is.
Cool. Happy birthday! That's incredible. Happy birthday. Aww. I think I have the happy birthday song. One sec. Hang on. No, it's a different kind of happy birthday song.
I'm here for it.
It was the one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Also Epidemic Sound. Well, happy.
Who doesn't like some awkward lip syncing? It's like TikTok, only here in the Ecamm YouTube stream.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Well, this will be the last of our like crazy off the cuff silly episodes.
Yes.
Probably not, but we'll say that because next week we're going to dive into like some serious deep content.
So if you're watching us now or on the replay and you have any specific Ecamm topic, themes, things that you think that this guy over here and I could really learn you, we are happy to accommodate. We have a few ideas on things that we think might be helpful for the community because honestly, I gotta say, if you're new to Ecamm or if you've been creeping for a while and just haven't pulled the trigger yet,
You see
there
it.
are we we see you. There are a ridiculous amount of tutorials out there.
Mhm.
Honestly, if you go to YouTube, and I know that there's something in the works, maybe Katie, you can share with us in terms of like having a different system of finding
Yeah.
specific videos. But really, right now, if there's something you need to learn, like let's say you want to up your game with overlays or transitions, you can either go on Facebook and type in the word in the search in the Ecamm community, and you
Yep.
will find stuff for
Yep.
sure. Or also you can just go over to YouTube. Like there are just so many tutorials that live in Ecamm Live's YouTube channel, but then in a ton of other content creators. People are passionate about this product and about live streaming. And so if you need a tutorial on something, you can probably find it. But if there's something specific or topics that you'd like us to kind of go over or discuss, we are also happy to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Paul shared the link here so you can grab it. But videos.ecamm.com is our new, it's not even all that new, newer, the newest kid on the block. It is our video hub and it's completely searchable. So it actually is not just searchable by the title and the description, but in the words that we are saying. It pulls the transcript and
Wow.
searches everything and finds that exact minute marker. So if you're one of those people, and this is actually something was my probably, we'll start right off the bat. Like one of my biggest takeaways from social media marketing world as it pertains to video is that
Yep.
you have 8 seconds. Eight seconds. That's insane. I fail at that every video I make so far. 8 seconds. 8 seconds to convince someone, to impress someone, to keep them from hitting that back button or fast
Yeah.
forwarding or figuring out what the heck they are doing in your video. A little bit different for live streaming, because I think the live streaming has a little bit more of an engagement and a community factor, but
And a
but
conversation, even whether
the
you're streaming
conversation.
with someone or
Yeah.
alone with your community members. I totally agree.
Yeah, but if you're watching and you're like, okay, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel or I'm trying to, build out more short form videos in places like TikTok or Instagram, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
8. That's just crazy. So, Diana was said in her session, which I've seen her give a similar
Pull up my
presentation
notes.
before. I've seen her give a similar presentation before, and yet I still stayed the entire time like taking copious notes. That's how incredible this content was. Shout out to Diana, right? Shout out to
So
Diana.
good.
But what she had said was that again, yeah, like all of us are really prone to, we're like so excited that we're able to create quality content that just like looks this cool. We feel like we're like on TV, we're very famous. So we're, we all, and I'm super guilty of this. We start every show by being like, hi, I'm Katie, and I've been
Welcome to my channel.
welcome to my channel. I'm gonna play my intro clip. We're gonna dance, right? Like all the things that we just did. Maybe okay in a live video. You guys are all still hanging out, but not okay when you're doing, any kind of repurposing of that live video content, or if you're creating any kind of video on demand that you're trying to get people to search and find on YouTube. And
Yes.
I loved her example that she gave was talking about a broken dishwasher, because I totally have been there, and there's nothing worse than like when you're on YouTube and you're like, like Samsung model number dishwasher effing broken, please help. Like you're just like typing in like panic keywords and you're, trying to, this is the code it's throwing, please. And then you get the video where it's like, hi, I'm Roger and I'm a plumber and my background in plumbing. And you're like, shut up, Roger. I just need you to tell
Don't
me
care.
what the answer to this problem is. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of my off the top, just, one of those moments where I think I wrote that down, like,
Yeah.
I shared it online. I wrote it like I was like all over 8 seconds was like all over my book. And someone even said 7 seconds. So maybe
Yep.
even less.
On one of the days, I went to 3 different YouTube sessions.
Mm-hmm.
The same message. And these are people that have huge followings
Yep.
on YouTube. And even if they, and a side note, you can have a huge following on YouTube and make jack diddly from monetization. So if you're waiting to really to make 6 figures on YouTube through monetizing, I just want to like debunk that. I have a video with 11 million views, a viral video, and I looked the other day on the lifetime income on that video. That video is 7 years old, and I mean, I'm not gonna downplay it. I have made $6,000 off of that video, but
Awesome.
that's over 7 years though,
Yep.
guys. And that's a big number, 11 million views, and it still has tons of views daily. It's
Mhm.
not gonna probably stop growing because it's one of those feel good videos. But I'm saying if you're wanting to grow your YouTube channel, which you should, especially if you're using Ecamm and you're like, "Amazing on video, you should do it, you should do it." But, um, capitalize on that. So we're gonna talk more about, like, h how long and the hook and everything like that, but
Mhm.
make sure that your YouTube video is opening financial doors for you in other ways, and there are so many different avenues for that. Courses is a really big thing that you can lean into right now that people are really, taking advantage of and profiting from. Also consulting, but, like, if you wanna YouTube just for fun on the side and you don't wanna monetize, do what you want. But if you're wanting to become, you know, wealthy or have a good income from your YouTube videos, make sure that you know what your next steps are. Make sure that your viewers know, this is a way that you can sponsor me so I can keep doing what I'm doing. Like I always want to pop the bubble a little bit. Like if I get 1 million subscribers, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Not exactly.
No,
Not exactly.
no,
Yeah.
but it can open up a huge amount of doors, but you will never grow your YouTube following if you don't have, like, I think sorry, I'm really rambling, but I'm just so excited because there are
No, this is
so
great.
many things.
And if you have questions, I am keeping a close eye on the comments. So if there's anything specific that you want to know or you have questions, most of what like I took detailed notes on. Sounds like you too, Jill. Were
Mhm.
in the world of YouTube, and one of
Yeah.
the like I think staggering. And I of course I don't have my book in front of me. I'm like so filled with passion that I'm just going off. No, I'm going off notes. No, but in Michael Stelzer's keynote presentation, he talked about, and the number was something like 50% or over 50% of marketers, so marketing professionals that work at all different size companies or even entrepreneurs, have not yet dove into the world of YouTube or are like
Mm,
just kind of there but not really maximizing it. YouTube is kind of front of mind. So it was so interesting to me that at these kinds of conferences, we're always kind of learning what we need to know to do our day to day, thinking
yeah,
about like the future of social media marketing and of marketing in general and of video. But there's like in that in between, there lies this space where we know we should be better at some of these platforms, and we don't yet know everything we need to about it, or there
right.
are opportunities that we've heard maybe a few times over and over again. And we're like, yeah, I'm going to get to that. So I
Yeah,
think
I'm
that was
totally gonna do that.
eye opening for me that we've been spending a lot of time on our YouTube channel over the last couple of years, but there were definitely, I went to almost every YouTube and TikTok presentation, and they were all, kind of reinforced that same thing where YouTube is still a space where content creators still have big opportunities. YouTube is investing
Yes.
a lot more than most of those other platforms. There is still a substantial amount of marketing for all different kinds of businesses that aren't even on it yet or are not
Yeah.
doing it properly. So it's a really great chance to, it's not too late, I guess really was my big
Yeah.
takeaway in that it, I know that there's like so many awesome future things or even like now things like platforms like TikTok or other spaces, but sometimes it's a good reminder to be like, what is your focus and what platforms are most important to you and your business? Because platforms like YouTube are not yet dinosaurs, are not yet gone. So
No,
they have
they're
a lot
not
to
they're not
offer.
going away.
Mm-hmm.
And to go along with that, excuse me, one of the benefits, I mean, we went to some of the same sessions, and I don't want to talk about TikTok just yet, but with
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, a great thing about YouTube is that they are wonderful about recommending your channel and your content to
Yes.
others. So
Yes.
if your thing is dishwashers or appliances, I mean, if you're just doing a video like I have a reason why my dishwasher broke, I learned how to fix it. I'm going to tell you how I did it.
Yep.
If you have other content, if that video does really well and people are using it as a tutorial or whatever, then that says that you are good at explaining things or you are solving other people's problems. So to then kind of lean into that, and people are appreciating this type of content from me, and it's something I'm obviously passionate about or at least knowledgeable in, and
Yep.
then to provide other content for those viewers viewers. That was a big thing. Like YouTube and all these other platforms, they will recommend your channel
Mhm.
if you are keeping people on their platform. And
Yeah, that was
it
huge.
sounds weird to say, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that there were less mysteries around successful YouTube channels than there are around maybe going Instagram or TikTok famous. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
if you are getting viewers and and they're staying with you and they're staying on your content or you're
Mhm.
recommending to other content on the same platform, your videos are going to get recommended.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that that notion of like of how YouTube is working for the creators, not only in the kinds of like monetization and programs and funds that they are building around kind of supporting this creator and this and now moving into kind of this podcasting creator space as well.
yeah,
But I agree. I think it wasn't just Diana and Sean's sessions, which were both fantastic, but I think every YouTube session that I was in had that notion of I feel like so had that notion of make sure that you are keeping people watching your next video, keeping people on YouTube, which is kind of counter to how I was really approaching it. Like it was an aha moment for me where I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I feel like, when we're doing videos, we're always like, buy our software, subscribe to our
Go back
website,
to our
go
Facebook
back to our
group,
Facebook group, go back to our
read our
website.
vlog.
Yeah, like, like this video. But really it became pretty apparent to me that what most of these experts and geniuses were saying during their sessions were focused much more around watch the next video and setting up the next video, because the more sort of the longer you're having people binge watching your content on YouTube, the more YouTube is showing more of your content, the better your
Mhm.
videos are doing, and the more you're building know, like, and trust with potential customers. So
Yeah.
even if you're not immediately sending them over to your website, that's okay. When you've solved their problems, you're the name that's top of mind, as Stephanie always says, top of mind, tip of tongue, right? That kind of, it was definitely a moment where I'm like, oh, we haven't been
Mm.
doing that. Doc does that in our Feature Friday series. He's always like, really calling out the next couple of videos that we know
Yeah.
YouTube is going to recommend, but we don't do that in a lot of our other videos. So I think that was
Well, and
me.
I was even thinking for this community, like, how good would it be to have some type of virtual calendar more than just like,
Yeah.
I go on YouTube, I follow my people and I hit the bell. And so I can go on the YouTube app and then see who's coming up. But wouldn't it be cool to know, okay, Katie and Jill show is from 4 to 5. Are there any e-cammers that
Mm,
start at 5
yep.
that we can say, hey
We can
guys,
shout out.
all
Yeah.
right, we're wrapping up at 4:45 today.
Yeah. Raise your
Um,
hand.
then
Let us know.
then go over to, make sure you guys go to the bathroom, take a break, get something to eat, and don't miss this next show up at 5. And
Yep.
that's just for live streaming, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But truly, like, knowing that that's going to do well for you, to keep people on the platform and to have content that makes sense. Now, if you're like me, a Jill of all trades,
we need. Oh wait, no, I don't have a laugh track one. I need a laugh track one. I only have not the same.
is my camera freezing on you?
Yeah, it's frozen. We're
That's
live
okay.
streaming.
But if you are a Jill of all trades, or if you have a lot of different interests and, like, if I look back far enough on either of my YouTube channels, I'm just, like, kind of cringing at myself because it's like, "Oh my god, I did a little bit." It was my video storage place, right? It
Yes.
was like,
Yeah.
I did something and I want to show some people maybe, so I'll put it on the YouTubes, and some of those videos are ancient and some I need to just, like, delete or put
Yeah.
to private, but some of them still have an audience. So if I go to my channel, Miss Jill, and I sort it by videos, most popular, I get
Mhm.
my one random storytelling viral video with my sister. Then it's followed up by like 3 or 4 videos that really have nothing to do with each other. Like, I did a tutorial on how teachers can use a site called Edmodo, which is now ancient and Google Classroom is the replacement. I
Mhm.
did a video on, oh my god, please don't watch it. It's awful. On I teach kids how to do the times tables using their fingers and songs. It is cringy to the max, but I think some teachers have found it and are using it as like a morning warm up. So that has like 20,000 views on it. I'm saying that to say the thing that is that I have in common with those videos besides the random one, is that I'm instructing or explaining or breaking things down.
Mhm.
So if the content I want to do is more about like, hey, tech tips or English lessons for Brazilian Portuguese speakers, whatever I want to lean into, I know that I'm keeping my audience and I'm keeping that retention and I'm getting a lot of engagement with videos, not necessarily live streaming, but with produced content where I'm saying, hey, I want to tell you how to use this product. Or do your kids need to learn their times tables? I've got a great solution for it. And even though it is the cheesiest freaking video you will ever see,
Val's going right
it's
now.
it's oh god. I've sent people Valerie, it's so bad. It's
Oh,
but
yeah,
anyways, so if you even on your own videos if you have some videos out there on YouTube, sort them by most popular. And I'm not saying to then copy what you did on those videos because that's the magic sauce, because maybe it is, maybe it's not.
yeah,
But you'll at least know how the general public, and you'll see who's your subscribers and who aren't your subscribers, but who still are liking your content and watching your content. And then let that be a note to yourself on what your skills are,
yep.
on what you can lean into more because you already have an audience that's engaging and appreciating that.
Yeah, I think it's so huge, and also speaks so much to the power of SEO. I mean,
Mm.
it never ceases to amaze me how like obvious, for lack of a better word, a lot of this is, and how we get so kind of, or at least I do, I get so like distracted with the like new and shiny or trends or things that I think are, missing in what we're doing, that we miss the fact that people are searching
Yeah.
and YouTube is a video search engine. And so
Yeah.
really like the goals of it are to connect in the same way that the goals of Google are to connect people through their questions or what they're searching for, what their needs are, what your audience is, to the
Yep.
correct content that helps them. So if
Yes.
you are always thinking about it, and whether this is your blog, your website, your videos, your live streams, whatever it is, you should be thinking about who your audience is, what their questions are, what their needs are, and creating content that fits that. And again, if you're creating content that is, actionable, helpful content that's solving a pain point, really think about getting rid of those intros and anything that's
Yes.
going to get people in the way of getting
Yes.
the answer to that question, because people are looking for quick answers, and time is incredibly valuable. So you're way more likely to wow them and to get them to join in on a longer live stream or listen to your podcast or engage with you in your community if you've solved their problem. And chances
Yes.
are you have solved their problem in that video, otherwise you wouldn't have created it. But sometimes it's just a matter of thinking through how you might be able to trim it or
Where
introduce
exactly.
chapters, or get kind
And
of
I
search terms in.
I get easily annoyed with if they're I'm gonna sound like a
I
snob
get
because
easily annoyed.
I just get end of story. Gotta head out. Bye,
Sorry.
guys.
Next
Thanks.
question.
Catch you next week. All right. I get easily annoyed when I'm searching for an answer,
Yep.
like live streaming it, like putting comments on screen during a live stream.
Yeah.
That's how I find that's how I found Ecamm, by the way.
Yeah.
I wanted to have comments go on the screen.
Mhm.
Actually, Katie, will you put a comment on there?
Yeah.
Any
Here,
comment.
let me put this one. It shows that you're an engaging teacher.
That's oh, this is a perfect comment. That's what I Googled. I wanted to be able to do that
Yeah. Yeah.
feature.
Yep.
And that led me to, I don't know if it was Diana's videos or like a ridiculous, like actually first I started trying OBS and I wanted to punch myself in the face. And then I found Ecamm. Anyways, what I want to say is this, the thing that I do get annoyed with is when I'm a smart lady. So when I put the words I put in the YouTube search are very specific.
Yep.
And then I kinda skip over anything that looks like sponsored, and then I try to go to, like, okay, I read the titles. Sometimes I look at the sometimes I don't pay attention to the thumbnails or whatever. I
Mm.
find the video I think I'm gonna like, and if it's like honestly, if it is at all slow paced, "Hey, guys, thanks for joining my channel. I've just had, like, the craziest week, and I'm done. I'm absolutely done." Or if it's like and I'm okay with crappy video.
Yeah.
If it's solving my pain point,
Yeah.
if it's
Exactly.
solving my
Yep.
problem and it's getting right to it, because like I was talking to someone earlier this week, and they made a few videos that were super entertaining because I already knew him and liked his
Mhm.
content. I stuck around.
Yep.
And he was talking about video marketing. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh, like I like his humor." But if it was my first time meeting him, I don't care. That video is supposed to solve my problems, and here you are showing off a bunch of stuff. Keep keep the B-roll, keep the creative things, okay? Maybe integrate it a little later into your video on top of your audio that it is explaining things. Or once you've already have your following, that content is great. Like not every video is oh, that's another point. Not every video is going to be a viral video.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to build up your audience and you're really wanting to grow your channel, be get to the point, solve people's problems or entertain them, whatever your niche is. And then after you build that, you're gonna find that people are gonna wanna say, "Hey, tell me more about that candle back there," or "I wanna know more about what it's like. How do you have this job and have 4 kids?" Like, then you can get more creative and you can do more vlog work, but if you really are like, "I've got a channel here, I need it to grow," get to the point quickly and don't delay and don't worry about your branding. That's the other thing, Katie. Like I heard multiple people say, we as marketers or as professionals or in the corporate world or whatever are like, okay, we got to make sure we're on brand and we're
Mhm.
doing this and we have our stingers and we do our closers. And they were like, yeah, no, like the general population is kind of done with that. Like your description is the place for like, follow us here, contact us here. Here's our
Yeah.
email. Here's when you could
Yeah.
people are resourceful, so don't waste especially the first 30 seconds, don't waste it on telling people, like, who you are and how
Yeah,
important you
that
are.
yeah. It we heard over and over and over again, and I think this, whether it was a session on video or storytelling, or I mean, really, in almost every session that I heard, I wrote down the word hook. Right.
Mm,
So it was, every single person should be focused on, what is the hook of your video? What is your point? You
yeah,
need to get to the point. And also, as you kind of finish off these videos, and I think it was Sean that had said this, but
yes,
as you finish off those videos, you can tease into the next pain point or tease into the next question that leads into the next video. And then once you're past
agitate
that,
the next problem.
exactly, agitate the next problem. And then once you're done that, feel free at that point to be like, this was Katie. And if you want to like and follow and subscribe and join, feel free
Yep,
to say it at that point for anyone who's still hanging around. But really, your number one goal should be to get them into the next video and to have
yep,
solved their problem to have satisfied their expectation, right? So if your
yep,
video title is again like, I'm gonna fix your Samsung dishwasher, don't worry, I've got this, and that's what the description says, then that should be the main point and everything within your video, and you should be able to satisfy that expectation. So if I come through to that video, that is what I am expecting to see in that video, and I
yep,
hope that by the end of it, I have not only felt that way, but you've also agitated the next problem, right? And I'm into the next thing. Hey,
right.
Diana's here. Diana, we're just cribbing all your notes and
Diana, I got a
and sharing all of
question.
your brilliance with everyone else. This is a great question. Actually, maybe Diana can answer this one. I don't actually. I'm going to put myself out there and say that I don't actually know the answer to this. I thought it was no, but Glenda wants to know, if you go in and edit your videos to remove your intros, will you lose your views?
No,
No.
you can use the YouTube editor. It is quite basic and then also not super easy. But for example,
Basic
I'll
and
do a
difficult.
uh, yeah, I'll do live streaming for like a corporate event
Mhm.
and we'll have a countdown, not
Yep.
like a "Nah, da, 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 da," but like a kind of a static, not as fun countdown. And so after we stream, I'll go back in the YouTube editor section and I will crop off that intro so that when people catch it on the replay, it's right from there. So if you can learn how to do the YouTube editor, and maybe that would be if anyone's watching this, that I
Yeah,
have
maybe
not
that's
found
a
great
future video.
tutorials for
Yeah.
that. Because I'm mostly like, oh shoot, did I do that right? And I've cut out sections and there's things you can blur if you want to blur things. And
Yeah.
there are some options in there. But if you're right, if you edit your video and then re-upload it, then
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
starting from
that's a good
scratch.
clarification. So if you use YouTube's editor, yeah, I've definitely trimmed it out, and it does get rid of the live chat and lets you know that. Is that, or is that Facebook? I'm always confusing the two of them. One of them
I don't
removes the
know.
live chat.
Yeah.
Someone here that's smarter than me will answer, but one of them removes the live chat from your,
Smarter than us both.
and the other one doesn't. So Oh yeah, it's only if you're live. Yeah, there we go. So Diana to the rescue. It's only if you're live that you'll lose the baked in live chat, but not the views if you edit the video. Okay, so if you're taking a live stream video like this one and you're like, we've learned now we don't need this intro scene,
Right.
and you want to get that.
Or your other, like, your older content that you're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
man, I spent the first 30 that video's doing well, but not as well as my other videos,
Yeah.
and I just wasted that time."
Yep.
I mean, experiment with it,
Yeah.
you know? We also talked about, maybe your thumbnails just aren't catchy enough or your titles aren't
Yeah.
grabby enough, like, playing with those things with content that you feel should reach more, yeah, give it a try. Try doing some of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are a ton of tools out there. I mean, TubeBuddy is one that comes to mind just from the
Yes.
top of my head is one that we use all the time, but they have tools that are built into that program that include things like testing out the difference between thumbnails, helping you, go in and bulk optimize or bulk update a bunch of different videos. So if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, guys, I have
Yeah.
thousands of videos sitting on my channel and this feels really overwhelming, there are ways to be able to make those updates and optimizations without
Yep.
it feeling quite so daunting. So yeah, lots of
And if you're not sure if TubeBuddy or other products like that are a good fit for you, a lot of great things that I've noticed lately about products like that or companies like that is that they have really good onboarding systems.
yeah.
And before you end up subscribing to those services, you can do trials. You can sit down with someone on their team and have a chat about, what are you trying to do? Okay, this is how you can use this. So there's live coaching that goes
Yeah.
I believe that is the way with TubeBuddy, like, you have that option, um,
Yeah, TubeBuddy,
and then
I
there's, of
as a
course, YouTube tutorials.
yeah, TubeBuddy has a really great onboarding process, and then they do have a ton of different tutorial videos. And they
Mhm.
also, it's been a while since I've popped in on one, but they do a lot of like channel reviews. I actually at one point was just like, "Here's the Ecamm channel. Let me know what we're doing right or wrong about this." So they will do
It's
like a
awesome.
live review and give feedback on what optimizations you could make or what improvements. And we took their advice and made some of those changes early on, probably like at this point a couple of years ago now, and it made a really big difference. And it was really simple things. It was like our banner wasn't like properly saying exactly who we are, and that
Mm,
was causing confusion. Some of like the playlists and how we were displaying content, was causing confusion or could be like listed better. So we made some tweaks there. And
yeah.
then we weren't using end cards, which is like one of those things that if
Oh,
you
yeah.
started and you were like one of those, like, this is the storage spot for my videos, like, end cards made a really, make a really, really big difference. So,
So I don't know if you guys can see this, probably not. Oh god, wait, I
okay,
can do
let's
it, I
see.
can do it, I can do
I
it.
can shoot over to just you. Just you? Nope, not Jill. I lied.
Just number
There we
2.
go.
Alright. So this right above my finger right here
I see
was
it.
an example of Sean's end cards. And so basically at the end of his video, he kind of splits his screen where he's still talking, he's doing his little spiel, and then he intentionally leaves places for 2 videos and then a subscribe button.
Hmm.
And I I gotta say, I'm mindful of that. I've not been super great about that. So I wanna start re as I wanna be much more mindful about my intros and then my outros, not letting people know that the video's ending and kind of what was it?
Aggravate the
Aggrav
next pain point, next
Yep. Agitate the next problem,
agitate
and
the
then
next.
make sure that you're pointing people maybe to a past video and then leave a
Mhm.
spot for a future video,
Like a breadcrumb,
or
right? You're like, and
yes.
these videos. Now that we've fixed your dishwasher,
But
you
wait,
leave these
there's
other.
more.
But wait, there's more, right? But wait, there's more.
And
I
if it's a one-off video, like if let's say that you just made one random tutorial on dishwashers, you can say, "Hey, listen, this is the only technology that I know how to use, but what I love doing is teaching people how to communicate on camera. So you can check out more here and here."
yeah,
Like it's okay. It's okay to have a lot of different interests or to have a variety of different content, but letting your viewer know what they can expect is great because I've subscribed to channels based on one video and I'm like, "What the crap is that?" And, like, even to a point where, man, different beliefs or different, things that I would not support pop up, and I'm like, "Okay." So,
hmm,
it would be helpful if people can let people know what they get if they subscribe.
yeah, absolutely. I'm loving all these. It's so great to see you, Tristan. I'm so happy you're able to catch us live. I did want to follow up quickly here too. So for the rest of the month of March, all of our live videos and many of our recorded videos, we have a fundraising icon. So if you see that there, we're partnered with the folks actually at TubeBuddy we're just talking about. And it is a compilation of different organizations that are doing various kinds of humanitarian aid for everyone that is undergoing just a horrific war in Ukraine. So if that is important to you and you want to help fundraise, definitely hit that button. We promise all of those organizations have been vetted by YouTube and TubeBuddy and us. So it is a good way to be able to give back. And
awesome.
It's called Creators with Ukraine. And if you are in our Facebook group, or I think if you click it, it'll give you some additional information as well. But you can figure out how to add those fundraising buttons as well to any of your YouTube videos. So if that's something that's important to you, good shout out, Paul. Yeah, we have that on all of the videos for the rest of this month. So hopefully it'll help make a difference there.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, the windscreens. I'm gonna forget the name of it. It's like Reporter Store. Oh shoot, Paul, you'll be able to link it correctly. Doc ordered them for us. It's like Reporter Store, reporter something.
I'm just gonna spray paint mine. That's probably fine, right?
There it is, reporterstore.com. Luis got it for me. Reporterstore.com. Hey, it was close. Reporterstore.com. Katie is fixing dishwashers. No, this resonated with me on a very deep level because I have a fairly new dishwasher and it is always broken. And so when this came up as an example, I'm like, wow, that's me. I literally was like, okay, what is the model of this dishwasher? What code is this dishwasher throwing out at me? And that was it, word for word, like what I copy and typed into YouTube. I was like, fix dishwasher, Samsung model type code, ? And waited to see what came up. So and it's funny because I am that person. I come from a copywriting background. I come from an SEO background. And yet I often forget to do that when it comes to videos. So I think it was an important reminder. I'm like, when I get in video, I'm like, we're on the video, we're having fun. And so I think it was hugely important as we were thinking about how we can improve our videos and what options there are out there. There are ends of the talents.
I got a question.
Sure.
Were there any software solutions or companies or vendors? Was there anything that you? I mean, and we haven't had a ton of time to dive into things since coming back, right? I've only had a few days back from San Diego, and I'm just catching up on life.
But was there to find the ones I wrote down? I only had a couple actually. Yeah. I was kind of surprised at I feel like it was a good event for kind of back to basics for me, and maybe that's just the headspace that I was in. But okay, I had a couple. So here are the ones that I wrote down. And some of these may be helpful and some of these may not be the least bit helpful, but internetclicker.com. So this is a remote presenter tech tool. So this was more from the logistics of the conference. I was like, oh, fun. Okay. It helps people remotely change scenes and slides. And I was like, we should look into that. Maybe they integrate with Ecamm. Speakpipe.com. So this one came up, SPEAK pipe, PIPE.com. This one came up in Pat Flynn's session, which was just unsurprisingly, another fantastic session. But what Pat was saying that I think is genius, I'm going to do. So if you will all see me do this in the next little bit, I wrote down as an action item. But what Pat had suggested was if you want to grow your podcast reach, and I think this applies for live videos and a number of other different mediums other than podcasting. But he said to find the admins for groups and communities and forums in the audience that you are trying to get into, reach out to them and ask them to be an interview guest on your podcast, on your live show, on your whatever your medium is. And if you don't have the bandwidth to have them just come on and be a one-on-one guest, or you don't really know how well they'll do as a guest and you're a little bit worried about that, he uses this tool, speakpipe.com. He sends them this link and tells them and asks them to leave basically a voice memo on a particular topic. So he'll say I'm doing an episode about, 50 live streamers share their top trends for 2023, and he'll say, we really would love to hear what your top trend is. and give them the opportunity to leave that message and to, to be able to share that information. And then that gives you, a great episode where you can actually play the audio, especially if it's a podcast, be able to play the audio in that episode. It makes them feel really special. They're much more likely to share that content and really feel like invested in your
Yeah.
podcast episode or in your, in your live stream, if that's what you're doing. But I thought it was really smart, and I wrote down as a tool that I was like, oh, this would be helpful for like blog posts, and as we're starting to kind of play around and get more into podcasting. And probably there's a video equivalent, I would imagine, out
Yeah.
to do that. And then the last one that I had was, and again, this wasn't even in a session. This is just like how social media marketing world was sharing their UGC. They were using a platform called Tagbox, Taggbox.
Okay.
We have one on our site right now called Curator that just shows, all the different mentions of Ecamm and Ecamm fam, and pulls from YouTube and a bunch of different places. But I like the flow of this one, and it really felt very engaging to kind of see. It just automatically scrolled and showed, all the different content for an event. And I was like, oh, that could be kind of fun for a live event or a virtual event or for a landing page. So mine were across the board, but those were my major ones. And I don't think I wrote it down here, and I'm going to probably mess it up but there's one on the front of like, if you want to know what kinds of questions your audience or potential audience, I think it's called answer the public or ask the public. I don't really want to pull Google right now.
I have used it before, and it is awesome. You get it so many free ones a day. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah.
You get a number of free searches a day. But then you can also, I'm going to subscribe to it once we remember what it is.
Yeah. It's either ask the public or answer the public.
Yeah.
And what it does, in case you're wondering, is, hey, Emily's on. There you go, Emily. It was awesome. Awesome to see. Yeah, they got a tag box. They did great as far as UGC and being able to kind of get a feel of the show. But ask or answer the public. What they do is you can basically type in search terms or topics. Like for us, would be like live streaming, and it'll show all the different kinds of questions that people are asking about that topic, or search terms and things that people are looking for, and that basically can build out your entire content calendar and your content
100%.
strategy, right?
If you're stuck, if you're in a rut,
answer the public. Yay, James!
Yay! If you think you've already answered all the question, or you're like, oh, I had this list, and I'm going to plug it right now, get yourself an Ecamm planner. So if you're needing to fill up your planner on like, okay, what should I do next? Or this video did really well, and then put in something, or even just like put in something that you're comfortable talking about, and then like live streaming, and then you're going to get all of these prompts that people are asking about that, and then you can answer that question. I mean, there's your part of your title, and there's your description, and there's your keywords right there.
Yeah, you're literally answering the question that they are directly asking into YouTube, into Google, and you can do the same thing with Google. It looks like there's also, James has a site called Also Asked. So there's lots of these out there. Paul, thank you. Paul's dropping in all of the links to everything for us as usual. Nice. Paul's awesome. Answer the public. Yeah, Tagbox was great. But again, these are like SEO principles, but many of us take courses on SEO, or it was like happening and becoming a thing as we already had careers. But it is important to think about, people have particular search habits, and the people that are searching for very specific answers are already far enough down that funnel that if you're able to help them with that, it really makes a big difference. So it's worth thinking that through as you're building out videos. You probably innately know your audience or the topic that you want to speak about, but you might be missing a couple of questions that you have the answer to and have a level of authority on.
Right. So one product, and I'm ashamed to admit this, Katie.
No shame here. No shame here.
No shame. So Katie told me about a software months ago. And I was like, I actually really don't need that, because like I use Premiere Pro and the Adobe Suite, and like I do video editing.
Like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm an editor, so
not a big deal. Because I do a lot of videos that don't necessarily live on my channel, right? They're for clients. They help pay the bills, which is wonderful, and I love it. And it's so good. But I need to, in order for me to crank out as many shorts from long form content, I need to be able to let go some of the micromanaging and control, because for me, even the videos that I like TikTok videos
Yeah.
or reels that I like, is that same thing. I think fast, I process fast. I want my videos to be answering my questions
Mhm.
quickly. I want things to move quickly. And even with entertainment, like some of my favorite random TikTokers that are just great storytellers,
Mm.
there's not a lot of pauses in there. It just goes, goes, goes.
It's
So
like
anyways,
puppy. Yep.
I I finally downloaded and used the one free trial coupon from the conference Descript, and I think it's Harmony, right? I think
Harmony
she's
from Descript.
I
Yeah,
met her.
I cannot
Unbelievable, unbelievable product
believable.
for
Yeah.
so many things. One thing I figured out today, we go to board meetings sometimes where people, like, have to take notes or, like, literally transcribe almost everything. So what people were doing before is recording on a voice memo
Yep.
and then listening back and literally record everything, import it to Descript. It tells you, "Oh, sounds like there's 5 different speakers." Yep. It gives you a little sound clip. You're like, "Oh, that's Fab. Okay, that's Carl. Okay, great."
Yep.
And then anything you wanna cut out, like, "Oh, all right, guys, hold on. This joker over here. Okay, take out that whole paragraph." And then, like, you can export it to a Word doc.
Yeah.
And that's one of the many case uses, but for me, I'm primarily using it to take my long form content and make a ton of shorts. It is crazy, and it is priced beautifully. Like,
Yeah.
it is so affordable, and it's worth every freaking penny, and I'm so sorry, Katie. So
No,
sorry.
it's all good. You would swear that I actually work for Descript because I feel like I'm probably at a level of like stalker creepy with them. I'm just like, I love you guys. I love you. You are amazing. Everything you do is because it really does, like, it makes you feel magical. I mean, the amount of times where, and again, because I come from a writing background, so
Mhm.
I'm the person. I'm that person. I'm the 8 seconds person where I stare at the video and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't
45
care.
minutes. Yeah, I don't have time to watch that right now,
Nope.
but I need to watch that because I need to put it out for other people who I want to watch that. So, like,
Yep,
Descript, I can throw the video, literally drag and drop it in, and it
yep.
pulls up the text. And then
And you can search.
you can search the text.
Ugh,
So, like, if you're like, I just want that one soundbite that I want to be able to use in an ad, you can literally search it. You find that exact
yep,
word, you highlight it, it clips the video, it puts the text on the video. You're like, oh, shoot, he said Ecamm instead of Ecamm. You can literally like edit it, literally type in and edit it, and it'll change it in his voice. Like it just overdubs right over. And so you can literally change what people say about your brand, which is super illegal, I'm sure. But you could do that. You could do that with the script. I don't know. It's
and you can,
absolutely
like,
incredible.
if you have things that are out of order, or, like,
Mhm.
they said an abbreviation here, but they said the
Yep.
full word here,
Yep.
you can flip-flop it around, and then honestly, like, overlays, because I was finding today I was taking a live stream and making some
Uh,
shorts, and I had too many clips. Like, I'm okay with the fast clips and just cutting,
yeah.
cutting, cutting. I'm good with that. But there were kind of too many all in one spot because there was a lot of ums that I was able to quickly delete.
It gets
But
rid of
then
all
I'm
of
like,
those. Yeah.
it gets rid of all of those too, and the pauses. You can say every 3-second pause, make into a 1-second pause. This is so crazy. But then I'm like, I kind of need a picture of what we're talking about. And so to do an overlay is very easy too. Add your bumper at the end if you want. Like,
Mhm.
it is an adding music. I mean, I'm a Premiere Pro After Effects girl, and I should still quote all of my clients the same amount of time to make these shorts.
You should.
I hope they're not watching, but I should. But then just use Descript. It's just ridiculous. It
Yeah.
is such a time saver, and it is a wonderful, intelligent, smart product that I haven't even begun to understand, but I've already used it a ridiculous amount in the last 2 days. So
Yeah.
thanks, Katie.
You're
Use
welcome.
Descript.
And if you're watching and you're like, oh, I also ignored Katie, we have a perk. We're friends with them, so they gave us a discount. The password is Ecamm Fam Perks, all one word, all lowercase. Get on in there and grab a discount. That's a good question, Glenda. I think it was a different discount, but I think it was pretty comparable. So, yeah, I'm happy to. I can take a look at that, or you could probably even email them. I'm sure they would just give you whatever the best deal is.
Yeah.
But
At the event, they did like a 1-month free trial,
mhm.
And then moving forward, maybe the
Yeah, I
Ecamm
can't
fan
remember
perks.
the exact discount that's on the perks page, but they're awesome. They are also going to be with us at Podcast Movement, which is our next kind of big scheduled event. So that's in Dallas, Texas, and that is in August. We're going to be hot, hot, hot in Dallas in August with the team at Descript. So that'll be really exciting to be able to get to hang out with them again. Because yeah, I think the two tools together work pretty magically. You're like record all your content, live stream, create everything in Ecamm, and then Descript makes it beautiful, perfect. You just send it through to
So
them,
good.
clean anything all up. It is
And if you're
called
hearing our, oh, sorry, go
Descript,
ahead.
Descript, Descript or Descript. I don't think they care how you say it, so hey, either either way, there it is. Either way.
Yeah, it was good. So we're coming up against time, but I
Mhm.
gotta say this, of all of the takeaways, like so much knowledge,
So much knowledge, yeah.
so many great speakers. And it's funny, I was hearing a lot of the same messaging, but in different ways. And that goes to speak like there was such a focus on the next wave, and we don't have time to talk about Web 3.0
Yeah.
or the knowledge
Yeah.
yet. I'm still wrapping the
We're
mind.
still figuring out.
But
Yeah.
but there was so many great messages saying how important content creators are for this next big wave,
Yep.
and how important and valued um, different voices, different types of communication.
Yep.
And so that message was very clear,
Loud and clear. Yep.
and
Mhm.
everybody, there was a lot of similarities in the messaging, but different deliveries, and I love that.
Yep.
Like, how did we go from Diana's class, which was kind of like, she's telling you how it is, and she's calling you out, and she might not be like, "Hey, guys, how are you? Oh my god." But, like, I loved her sense of
Yeah.
humor was so good, and
Yeah.
then the next presenter was like, all over the place," and I loved her too. So, being who you are is going to work for you,
Yep.
and but really doing enough research and knowing about the trends that are working for other people.
Yep.
But aside from all of that and all the amazing takeaways, the biggest, most meaningful thing to me for that trip was meeting my Ecamm fam in real life.
Okay, you're
IRL.
gonna talk, and I'm gonna flow through some of your photos because they're incredible. And
Uh,
I failed before I left. I was all like, everyone needs to take selfies with me, and y'all showed up and delivered and took selfies with me. But I did not raise my phone at all throughout the entire event.
you were
So
busy.
I'm in like everyone else's photos. So please appreciate Jill and my photos. Jill's photos.
Oh, I loved this one.
I love this
So
one. The like
Ken was
emotion and the
so
awesomeness of it is just amazing. We love Stephanie
and
and
it was such a real, honest, beautiful moment. Just people finally meeting each other face to face. Adrian was such a great guest, and he did a
a
session,
workshop, a session. Yeah.
a workshop, thank you, and there were so many people there that, like, have gone through his training, and they showed up. They weren't even attending Social Media Marketing World, but they showed up to meet him in real life,
Yeah.
to thank him, and to gain more knowledge from him. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
He's incredible. I loved, loved, loved the live content that went out from our space throughout the day. I mean, between Kirk and Christine and the social media Pulse community launch, and Brian and Nancy. I mean, everyone just did such an incredible job of. It just looked so looked so cool, and the professionalism was. It was just exciting to kind of be behind the scenes of everyone's shows for the day. It was just so much fun. And then here's all
Absolutely.
your fun selfies. I'm like, again, I have no selfie with Luria. I missed it. I'm just gonna live in jealousy
Oh,
here. But it was so great to meet her and Kali in real life. And
oh
again,
my
so here,
god,
I have another
totally.
one of these ones. Look at me.
There she
Oh,
is.
look at that. See, you know what? Like Midori just sees herself here and knows that she's here with the group. It was so cool to meet Tom and Heather. I mean, it was just so much fun. We had to get an elevator shot because we're really geeky. So that was definitely on our list of fun things. And the guys just had a great time. So, whether or not you were able to snag some time with them or you were just watching at home, please know that it was a hugely important part of our strategy
Yeah.
and our marketing this year to get back in front of all of you and to meet you and to hear your stories and hear, your great ideas and to just get to know you better. And that was hugely important to both of them, definitely important to me and the team here. So we'll be doing more of it. So as I said, Podcast Movement's our next official like on the calendar event in August. We're also going to People of Video and Content Marketing World. We are likely going to be at, not exhibiting, but be at and hanging out at Vid Summit. So yeah, let us know if there's areas that we might be missing. We may not get to everywhere this year, but we're back and out there and traveling. So please know that we're trying to get to as many places as possible. We are actually looking at like the breakdown of where most of our members live. So we're creepily being like, okay, Texas, that's a good state to hit. So we are looking at all of that. But I guess while I'm on it, actually, one sec, we're going to throw over here too, because there's a couple of upcoming. Did I catch all the photos? Nope, that's just Jill. Smile, Jill. So yeah, we have upcoming events on the YouTube calendar. So I'm somehow these people are letting me do a panel discussion about Women's History Month, women in tech. I'm really touched and excited to be doing that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that's on the calendar. If you're able to make it, we'd love to have your questions and hear these stories. It's going to be a really great time. We're also super excited to be a sponsor for Sammy's upcoming event, Mastering Your Interviews. That's starting just in a couple of days. And we're going to be doing some live behind the scenes and kind of sneak peek content here on YouTube about this. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket, shoot on over to sammysuperstar.com. This is going to be an incredible event. Please, please, please take the time to check it out. I think we could all stand to get better at interviewing. So lots of really valuable content here. Some amazing, amazing speakers on the list. And then if you missed it, Alec, who is one of our moderators, he runs Take One Tech, which is just an incredible YouTube channel. He just launched his first Ecamm Live Masterclass. There are like 196 videos, and they are completely up to date, and he is updating these on a regular basis. So if you haven't been able to kind of jump into any of our trainings, or you haven't had the time and you want to work through this at your own pace, this is just a really great opportunity. It's really affordable. And you have access to all these videos for life. So, if you're like, I just really need like all of the video content, and I need for it to be updated, and I need for it to be in one spot. We stand by Alec and everything that he's done. This is just a really great opportunity, and it's all the way updated to 310. So you will get everything. And we as a team have been working through these videos. They are awesome. So lots of really cool, fun opportunities upcoming. Both free and paid, both live and recorded, everything in between, and hopefully in person as well. So lots coming up in the world of Ecamm.
And to put some of our advice into practice, when this stream finishes up, go check out Alec's channel, because I had seen him in the group, and I've respected his work for a long time, and he always gives great advice in the community as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw one of his recent videos, and I was like blown away at how well he breaks things down. So check out if someone can put it in there. I can't remember the name of it.
Ecamm Live. The masterclass is ecammlivemasterclass.com. His channel is Take One Tech. And it's incredible. He shares a lot of those videos into the community as well. So if you aren't on his YouTube channel, you can certainly grab any of those videos in the community too. But we're so lucky. There's so many different creators out there who are creating really amazing, helpful content that relates to our software. So if you're one of those people and you're like, how do I get myself listed in these videos? There we go. Take One Tech. We are working on building out a landing page on our site that will show kind of all of our creators and experts and people that we know have really valuable content as it relates to getting up and running quickly with live streaming or video production or Ecamm specifically. So hang in there with us. But in the meantime,
and kudos to Ecamm for like really giving back to their users that are being helpful. Like you guys create that great culture. So I appreciate you guys for facilitating so many of us being able to take something that we love, which is your product, and then teach and reach people and help others look their best, sound their best, do their best. And you guys recognize those different skills from all sorts of different people, and you promote them, obviously. And I think that speaks to the character of the company. So go freaking Ecamm.
Go community. I mean, it makes my job so much easier to be like, well, we have videos on all these topics. So it's been incredible. But we are sadly out of time, and we've done it. We've wasted another perfectly good hour together. We could have been doing other things, but here we were learning together. I have the list of my full takeaways from social media marketing world on my LinkedIn, on my Twitter, and on my Facebook. So if you're not following me there, you're welcome to follow me there, and you can grab those if you just scroll back a little bit. A couple days ago, you'll find them. But if you have any questions or you want to know more, you can always find Jill and I. Our contact info is in the description. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. In the description.
Definitely not this way.
Not this way, this way, this way.
Over there.
In the description. And we'll be back again next week. We're going to be diving back into different gear setups and tech and everything Ecamm. So if there's a topic you want us to cover, you can always send it along to us. We're happy to take any suggestions.
Yeah.
Jill speaks the truth. Never wasted. Lessons learned. I know. I'm just.
Yay.
Well,
she's Canadian. She
I'm
has
Canadian.
to do that.
I got to apologize. That's how I roll. All right. We didn't play the closing last time, so we'll dance it on out. And
Okay.
We will see you again next time, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube on Wednesdays.
Love you, Midori.
Love you all.